Hi. Um, Starting on page 136, the paragraph where near the bottom where it says, "Why isn't supper ready?" Edwin asked. This is where the hot dog analogy comes into play. I want you to pay both attention to what Cole says and what Garvey says. I'm going to ask for most of our discussion to be about, actually, probably all of our discussion to be about what is the analogy of the hot dog. I'd like you to write down your thoughts. That way, it's not just random when you speak tomorrow. And here we go. Cole walked to an old plastic cooler and pulled out raw hot dogs. Here. When he saw the two old men scowl, he added, "Just be glad I didn't take the boat when you were gone." "That would have been a real trick," Edwin said. "What do you mean?" Edwin reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a spark plug. Engines don't run without spark plugs. So their trust of Cole isn't 100% yet. They took the spark plug out of the boat motor so the engine wouldn't start. "You didn't trust me?" Cole said. "That's right," said Edwin. "Garvey and I believe in your potential, but you haven't earned trust. Not trying to escape in the skiff is a good first step." "What would you guys do if I refused to cook anything?" Cole asked with a wry smile as he sharpened the sapling for a hot dog stick. A wry smile means that he's doing it with kind of like a smirk. He's looking to see how they react. I think that kind of smile, a wry smile, can mean wry is spelled W-R-Y. That kind of smile can mean two things, like real teasing, like you're just joking around teasing, but it's also a way that sometimes people use to kind of poke at people. So I don't know which way it's bent here with Cole. Garvey crouched beside the fire and reached his palms towards the flames to warm up. "First we'd get hungry, then we would take you back to Minneapolis." "What's the big deal if I fix a hot dog or not?" Cole asked. "It's not the end of the world." "The whole world is a hot dog," Garvey said. The whole world is a hot dog. What do you think that means? What does that mean? Go ahead, eat a hot dog and I'll show you. Cole poked a raw hot dog onto the stick and held it over the fire. He hadn't realized how hungry he was, so he held that hot dog in the flames to cook faster. All the while, Edwin and Garvey stared patiently. When the hot dog was charred, or burnt, Cole placed it on a bun. "Now what?" he asked. "Eat it." Cole squirted a glob of ketchup, then devoured the hot dog. Edwin and Garvey kept watching. "There," Cole said, finishing. "I ate the hot dog. Now what?" "How was it?" Garvey asked. Cole shrugged. "Okay, I guess. Why?" "The hot dog did exactly what you asked it to do. You asked it to feed you and it fed you. No more, no less." Garvey held out his hand. "Pass me a hot dog." Cole pulled another one out from the cooler and handed it across the flames. Garvey took the hot dog carefully in his hands and examined it. "This is a fine hot dog," he said. "The finest I've seen all day." Carefully he slid the hot dog onto the stick, and then he started humming. Soon Edwin hummed along too. For 10 minutes they hummed the melody over and over. All the while, Garvey patiently turned the hot dog over the coals, careful not to burn it. Finally, when the hot dog was glistening, crispy brown, Garvey drew the stick back from the fire. "The song we hummed is a song of friendship," he explained. So they're also trying to teach him another lesson as well. What do you think this second lesson is that they're trying to teach? The song we hummed is a song of friendship, he explained. "What are the words?" Cole asked. There are no words because each person just makes up his own. That's how friendship is. That's another analogy, by the way. It's on page 138, middle of the page. As Garvey spoke, he rummaged through the cooler, pulling out salt and pepper, cheese, a plate, cups, and a tomato. He leaned a bun against a rock near the coals to let it toast lightly, then wrapped around a hot dog. "You're going to eat that thing or play with it all day?" Cole asked. Garvey smiled and kept working. He cut the hot dog into 3 pieces on a plate and lightly shook salt and pepper. Then he cut slices of cheese and tomato and put them on top. And with a flair, he added a small circle of ketchup to each little piece. Last, he poured 3 glasses of water. He handed one to Cole and one to Edwin. "This is a toast to friendship," he said, raising his glass. After taking a drink, he handed Cole and Edwin each a piece of the hot dog he had prepared. "That's your hot dog," said Cole. "Yes, it is, and I choose to share it," said Garvey. And he began eating, savoring each bite. "Eat slowly," he said, raising his cup again to toast. "Here's to the future." And after each bite, he raised his cup for a different toast. "Here's to good health. Here's to the sun and the rain. Here's to the earth and the sky." When everybody had finished eating, Garvey turned to Cole. "How was my hot dog different than yours?" Cole shrugged. "You shared yours and acted like it was a big deal." Garvey nodded. "Yes, it was a big deal. It was a party. It was a feast. It was a sharing and a celebration. All because that is what I made it. Yours was just simply food, because that's all you chose for it to be. All of life is a hot dog. Make of it what you will. I suggest that you make your time here on the island a celebration." Cole scuffed at the dirt with his shoe. "What is there to celebrate?" he asked. "Discover yourself," Edwin said. "Celebrate being alive." So I want you to tell me what Edwin and Garvey are trying to teach Cole with the friendship song and the analogy of the friendship song and the analogy of a hot dog. See you at 11.